I hope you understood remainder theorem. Now let's move on to the next part, factor theorem. To learn factor theorem, it's nothing different from the division algorithm or special case of division algorithm that we just saw at the earlier session. That is, when we divided 12 by 6, what was the remainder that we obtained? It was 0. Then we will get to a conclusion that 6 is a factor of 12. Are you okay with this condition? Then it is nothing different at all in the case of polynomial. That is, if you divide a polynomial p of x by another polynomial x minus a, then you will somehow get a remainder, right? If that remainder is 0, if that particular remainder is 0, then we will say x minus a is a factor of p of x. X minus a is a factor of p of x. Now, if x minus a is a factor of p of x, we know the remainder is obtained using another shortcut. That is, if you find the value of p of a, then what it will be? Yes, it will be the remainder as we got here. What is the remainder that we got here? It is 0. Now, factor theorem is nothing but the joining of these two statements. That is, if x minus a is a factor of p of x, then p of a is equal to 0. We can say in the opposite way also, or the converse is also true. That is, if p of a is equal to 0, x minus a is a factor of p of x, provided p of x is a polynomial of degree greater than or equal to 1 and x minus a is a linear polynomial as it is written. Now, if you have any doubt, please listen here. We will see with an example. Suppose you are given a polynomial x square minus 5x plus 6. Now, this is our polynomial. Now, I am going to divide this polynomial using x minus 2. So, x square minus 5x plus 6 divided by x minus 2. So, very same step that we have been doing. X square by x is x into x is x square. Now, next x into minus 2 is minus 2x. Subtraction process, minus 5x minus 2x, that is minus 3x plus this number over here 6. Minus 3x by x is minus 3. Minus 3 into x is minus 3x. Minus 3 into minus 2 is plus 6. And what is the remainder that you got? 0. Then we can conclude. What can we conclude? Just as we told in the case of 12 and 6, you got remainder 0 here, and you concluded 6 is a factor of 12. The same way you can say x minus 2 is a factor of x square minus 5x plus 6. This is the conclusion that we can make with this particular process. Now, since x minus 2 is a factor, what will be the value of p of 2? Let's see, p of 2. P of 2. What is p of x? It is x square minus 5x plus 6. Put 2 in the place of x. So it happens 2 square minus 5 into 2 plus 6. So that is 4 minus 10 plus 6. 4 plus 6 is 10 minus 10 is equal to 0. So that is the conclusion of our part. Now let's see what is factor theorem. Let's see the statement and just see whether you can correspond to that. Now let's see what factor theorem says. Let's see. If p of x is a polynomial of degree n greater than or equal to 1 and a is any real number, then two conditions, one is the converse of the other. X minus a is a factor of p of x if p of a is equal to 0. Also, if p of a is equal to 0, x minus a Okay, P of A is equal to 0 if x minus A is a factor of P of x. Both are the contours of each other. In the example that we just saw before this factor theorem, it says we already saw x minus 2 as a factor of this x square minus 5x plus 6, right? At the same time, the value of P of 2 was also 0. So that's the statement of factor theorem. Now let's see a problem based on the factor theorem that we have just learned. These questions are often seen in the examination, like to check whether the following polynomial has x plus 1 as a factor. So how will you check whether this polynomial has x plus 1 as a factor? To check whether x plus 1 is a factor of this polynomial, you just need to check the remainder obtained when this one is divided by this polynomial is 0 or not. If you get the remainder as 0, it's clearly a factor. If not, that's not a factor. Let's see. First of all, write the polynomial that is given to us. In first question, the polynomial is x cube plus x square plus x plus 1. Now, we need to check whether x plus 1 is a factor. For that, we need to find the value of P of 1. I guess you understood how I wrote P of minus 1. Let's see. Minus 1 cube plus minus 1 square plus minus 1 plus 1. This is minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1. Minus 1 cube is minus 1, minus 1 square is 1, minus 1 I have written as it is, and so is plus 1. Now you can cancel this minus 1 and plus 1, minus 1 and plus 1. What have you got? X in the remainder is 0. Then you can write since P of minus 1 is equal to 0, we can say x plus 1 is a factor of this polynomial x cube plus x square plus x plus 1. Let's see the fourth question. This is one of your exercise question in 2.4. I'm going to do the fourth one. In this case, the polynomial is different. Who is the polynomial? P of x is equal to x cube minus x square minus 2 plus root 2x plus root 2. This is our polynomial. Now, we need to check whether x plus 1 is a factor. So, we find the value of P of minus 1. If P of minus 1 is equal to 0, we can conclude, just like we did in the A part, we can conclude x plus 1 is a factor of this polynomial as well. Let's see whether we are getting it not. So this is minus 1 cube minus minus 1 square minus 2 plus root 2 times minus 1 plus root 2. So let's see, minus 1 cube is minus 1 minus minus 1 whole square is 1. Then there is a minus 1 outside the bracket. So first let's multiply minus 1. So this will become minus 2 minus root 2 plus root 2. So you can write minus 1 minus 1. There is a negative symbol outside the bracket as well. We will do that. Minus 1 into minus 2 is plus 2. Then minus and minus root 2 is plus root 2. Then another root 2 is there. Minus 1 is minus 2 plus 2 plus root 2 plus root 2. You can cancel these two, minus 2 and 2. So what happens? My root 2 plus root 2. What is root 2 plus root 2? It is 2 root 2. Then we should conclude, since P of minus 1 not equal to 0, x plus 1 is not a factor of this one, x cube minus x square minus 2 plus root 2x plus root 2. So that's our conclusion. Now let's see a different use of factor theorem in solving the problems. If you are given like this, a question like this, find the value of k if x minus 1 is a factor of this polynomial. A particular polynomial will be given and there will be an unknown quantity. So for example, k, a, b, any unknown quantities will be there, and you will be asked to find that quantity with the given condition that any particular linear polynomial will be given and that is a factor of that particular polynomial. Now we should understand, if x minus 1 is a factor of this polynomial, then p of 1 is equal to 0, right? Yes, we will use that method. So the process or how to write the answer is that first you should write the given polynomial. P of x is equal to 2x square plus kx plus root 2. This is the given polynomial and k is the unknown quantity that we are supposed to find. Now given condition is that given x minus 1 is a factor of p of x. It's already given x minus 1 is a factor of this polynomial. Then we can write p of 1 is equal to 0. Now how will we find p of 1? P of 1 will be found easily. Just need to put x as 1. So 1 square, 2 into 1 square plus k into 1 plus root 2. But p of 1 is equal to 0. That is, this can be equated to 0. Now you can write 2 into, what is 1 square? It is 2 itself, plus k into 1 is k, plus root 2 is equal to 0. Now what do we need to find? The value of k. So put k in the LHS and take all the others to RHS. So k is equal to, this 2 to the other side becomes minus 2, root 2 becomes minus root 2. We can take a negative common, therefore k is equal to negative of 2 plus root 2. So this is how to find the value if such question is given. Now another question is given. That's the third question. This is your exercise question under 2.4. Now the third question says, if x minus 1 is a factor of this polynomial, find the value of k. So first of all we should write the polynomial kx square minus root 2x plus 1. This root or root symbol is only for 2. Never confuse it with x. Now given, what's the given statement? Given x minus 1 is a factor. If x minus 1 is a factor, then we can write then p of 1 is equal to 0. A factor of whom? Factor of p of x. Then only we can write p of 1 is equal to 0. Then what happens? P of 1 is k into 1 square minus root 2 into 1 plus 1. So what happens? K into 1 square is k itself minus root 2 into 1 is root 2 plus 1. Of course this is equal to 0. Why? Because x minus 1 is a factor. Now what happens? K into 1 square minus root 2 into 1 plus 1 equal to 0. K into 1 square is k, root 2 into 1 is root 2 plus 1 is equal to k. Now as we did in the last question, put k in the LHS, take all the others to right side. Minus 2 to the other side becomes root 2, then 1 becomes minus 1. So the answer is root 2 minus 1. I hope you understood this one. Now let's move on to the last part of this section, factorization of polynomials. And we use factor theorem to factorize the polynomials in this section. Let's see how it is done. So far we have learned what is factor theorem, right? Factor theorem, when will you say a polynomial is a factor of other? If p of that particular value, or for example, if p of 3 is a factor, or you can say if p of 3 is equal to 0, x minus 3 is a factor of p of x. This is the basic definition or basic criterion to understand factor theorem. So what happens if p of minus 4 is equal to 0? Who is the factor? X plus 4 is a factor. Then p of minus 7 by 2 is equal to 0. What happens? Then x plus 7 by 2 is a factor. So this is the concept that you should follow. Now let's see how can we factorize using factor theorem or using this concept. example, if you are given a polynomial, say p of x is equal to x square minus 7x plus 12, then you are asked to factorize this one. There are lots of methods. One of them is splitting the middle term. That's actually defined in your textbook. You can easily understand by just reading, or I will take another session if you need that to be discussed. Now, in this chapter, we should give concentration to the factorization using factor theorem. What factor theorem says? P of A is equal to 0 implies x minus A is a factor. For in this example, let's see. First, we will check for P of 1. What is the value of P of 1? That is 1 square minus 7 into 1 plus 2. 1 minus 7 plus 2. Add the positive terms. 13 minus 7 is equal to 6. Is it 0? It's not 0. Now go for P of 2. P of 2 can be found using 2 square minus 7 into 2 plus 12. That is 4 minus 14 plus 12, or 16 minus 14. That is 2, which is not equal to 0. Again, that's not a factor. Now next we will see P of 3. Actually, we should check P of minus 1, P of minus 2. Then I am going to check P of 3. That is 3 square minus 7 into 3 plus 12. So 9 minus 21 plus 12. 9 plus 12 is 21, minus 21 is equal to 0. So what can we conclude from this one? We can write, since P of 3 is equal to 0, x minus 3 is a factor of our P of x. P of x. Now, there will be 2 factors for x square minus 7x plus 12 because degree of this polynomial is 2. If the degree of this polynomial was 3, then we would have had 3 factors. Now we have only found 1 factor, and how did we find that factor? We checked for P of 3. Since P of 3 is equal to 0, we got x minus 3 as a factor. Now to check the next factor, we have 2 options. First one is to check for P of 4, P of 5, P of 6, P of minus 6, P of minus 5. That's a very long process. I would recommend one method. I will demonstrate it for using a number itself. That is, if you want to find the factor of 12, find the factor of 12, and if you have already got a factor 2, then to find the next factor, you just need to divide this 12 by 2. Then you will get the next factor. Who is the next factor here? 6. We can use the same method in this case also. The first method was to put or continue with the same process that we had been doing, P of 4, P of 5, P of 6, etc. But one more condition is that, or one more easy method is that, you just need to divide the mother polynomial x square minus 7x plus 12 divided by one of the factor that we have already obtained. Who is the one of the factor that we have obtained? It is x minus 3. Since P of 3 is equal to 0, x minus 3 is a factor. So x square by x, that is x. Now x into x is x square. X into minus 3 is minus 3x. So we can subtract minus 7x minus 3x. That is minus 4x. Minus 4x by x is minus 4. Minus 4 into x. Okay, you can write the 12 here. Minus 4 into x is minus 4x. Minus 4 into minus 3 is plus 12. And you got the remainder 0. So who is the next factor? X minus 4. I hope you understood the method to find the factors. So we can say, therefore x minus 3 and x minus 4 are the factors of P of x. Or you can write x square minus 7x plus 12 is same as x minus 3 into x minus 4. Just as you wrote 12 as 6 into 2, I have written this one. Now let's see the next method or the next problem. Factorize x cube minus 2x 23x square plus 142x minus 120. So first step, check for the first factor p of 1. How will you check for the first factor? Find the values of p of 1, p of minus 1, p of 2 and p of minus 2. So we can begin 1 cube minus 23 into 1 square plus 142 into 1 minus 120. So 1 minus 23 plus 142 minus 120. First of all, add the positive terms. I write bigger 1 plus 23 plus 142 minus 120. Add the positive numbers. 1 plus 142 is 143. Here is minus sign. So minus 23 minus 120 is minus 143. That will be 0. Now we have got first factor. Who is the first factor? Since p of 1 is equal to 0, you should write like this way. Since p of 1 is equal to 0, x minus 1 is a factor of p of x. So you got one factor. Who is that? X minus 1. Now how will you find the next factor? The method that we just saw. Divide the polynomial using the factor that you have got. X minus 23x square plus 142x minus 120 divided by x minus 1. Why x minus 1? Because p of 1 was 0. Now divide it. X cube by x is x square. X square into x is x cube. X square into minus 1 is x square into minus 1 is minus x square. You can divide, subtract. Minus 23 minus x square is minus 22x square. Now minus 22x square by x is minus 22x. Minus 22x into x is minus 22x square. It should be written here plus 142x. Now minus 22 into minus 1, that is plus 22x. Now just need to subtract this one. 142x minus 22x is 120x. Write down the next one. So minus 120. Now here it is plus 120x. 120x by x is plus 120. 120 into x is 120x. Then 120 into minus 1 is minus 120. So the remainder is 0. So you got the second factor. But the second factor is in second degree polynomial. But we should convert that into first degree polynomial. And I hope you understood this one. So far with the given detail, what can you write down? Who was the premier polynomial or the mother polynomial? It was x cube minus 23x square plus 142x minus 120. That can be written as x minus 1 into the quotient x square minus 22x plus 120. I hope you understood well here. Now we need to simplify or we need to factorize this polynomial into two first degree polynomial. This is a second degree polynomial, right? So I'm trying to simplify or factorize this one. To factorize this one, you can still follow the method of putting p of 1, p of 2, p of 3, etc. But it's a bit difficult task. So we use the method of splitting the middle term. This is a very easy process, but at the same time you just need to practice it thoroughly to understand it properly. Let's see how this particular problem can be solved. First of all, take the constant part. Who is the constant part here? It is 120. And write it as factors of, or whichever way it can be factorized, write all of them. For example, 120 can be written as 120 into 1, or you can use the other way, 1 into 120, or 2 into 60. And then what's the next way? 3 into 40, 4 into 30, then 5 into 24, 6 into 20, then 8 into 50, then 10 into 12. Then the next one is 12 into 10, that is same, then 15 into 8. So we have wrote the permutations in which we can get 120 as the product of two numbers. Now, so these are the factors of 120, right? From this one, we should take two numbers whose sum of the numbers is minus 22, or the coefficient of the x term. Who is the coefficient of the x term? It's minus 22. So basically, the factor of this one, or if you want to factorize this one, this will be of the form x plus or minus something into x plus or minus something, right? So we need to find the missing number here. Now, the product of these two numbers will be 120. That's why I have written the factors like this. Also, their sum will be minus 22. So the product is 120, sum is minus 22. Now, this number can be of any form, like plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, anyway. Now, we need to check whether the sum of the pair of numbers will add up to minus 22 or 22. First, we should check for 22, then you can change the symbol. Let's see, 1 and 120 cannot be, anyway it cannot be, sum cannot be 22, then 2 and 60 also not possible, 3 and 40, 4 and 30 are also not possible. 5 and 24. If you add 5 and 24, you will get 29. You subtract, you will get 19, not 22. Then 6 into 20 is the same way. 8 into 15. 8 plus 15 is 23, but we need 22. Then 10 and 12. What is the sum of 10 and 12? 10 and 12 is 22. So we got it. But it is minus 22. Right? So we will take minus 10 and minus 12. What is sum of minus 10 and minus 12? It's minus 22. So the numbers are 10 and 12. So I am going to split the middle term. That's why the process is called as splitting the middle term. So I am going to write x square minus this 22 can be written as sum of 10 and 12. I am going to write minus 10x minus 12x plus 120. Then now take x common from here. X is common, so x minus 10. Then who is common in this one? 12 is common, right? So I am going to take 12 common. So there is minus plus 120. So you should write minus 10. Then only minus 12 and minus 10 will become plus 120. Now let's see, in this two term, this is a single term, this is another single term. You can see x minus 10 is common. So we'll take x minus 10 common again. So what will you get? You will get x here and there's a negative symbol and a 12. So our factorization is over. I hope you understood this one. We will see one more example, but only after completing this question. So there is no need to change this x minus 1 here, but this x square minus 22x plus 120 can be written as x minus 10 into x minus 12. I hope you understood this question. Now, a question to be solved using splitting the middle term. Let's see. Okay, the question that we did earlier, x square minus 7x plus 12. Let's solve this using splitting the middle term. First step is to factorize 12. 12 can be written as 1 into 12, 2 into 6 and 3 into 4. No further, because the next one is 4 into 3, it's already here. Now you should write, or you should get two numbers whose sum is 12, product is 12 and sum is minus 7. So there is only one possibility, that is 3 and 4. And is it plus 3 and plus 4? No, it's minus 3 and minus 4. So I am going to write x square minus 4x minus 3x plus 12. Now taking the very same process, x into x minus 4 minus 3 into x minus 4. X minus 4 is common, so we'll write x minus 4 into x minus 3. That is our answer.